The hottest jobs in Argentina are the ones that pay in dollars. So Javier Milei's push to dollarize the Argentine economy is in many ways a long shot. You know, I'm used to saying de-dollarization. I've been talking about the death of the global dollar standard now since 2009, and we are witnessing this slow motion train wreck it's been going on for years, and it's probably going to continue going on for years. But the dollar is slowly losing its dominance. However, here we have the reverse happening. But the truth is, many Argentines aren't waiting around to see how it plays out. They're dollarizing the economy on their own, one transaction and one contract at a time. It's a classic case of breakdown of fiat currency. Now, this is interesting. I'm going to come back to this in a second as a little detour. Just like the one witnessed in hyperinflation-ravaged Venezuela a decade earlier, confidence and trust in the currency collapsed to the point where people don't want to use it even for the most basic of transactions, so it gradually vanishes from the economy. So let's take that little detour. Oh, it said fiat currency. I clicked on it. Now it says fiat money. And it says the term, however, is usually reserved for legal tender paper money or coins that have face values far exceeding their commodity values and are not redeemable in gold and silver. Throughout history, paper money and banknotes had traditionally acted as promises to pay the bearer a specified amount of precious metal, typically silver or gold. I am just amazed that all of these people can write this stuff and not realize that what this means is that the paper currency, not money, is just a claim check, a receipt, and you can redeem it for money, the gold and silver. I mean, I see this basically different forms of this same sentence in every definition or description of, every definition of fiat currency or paper currency, or if you're talking about a monetary history or something like that. This same sentence is used over and over and over again, and the people writing it don't seem to get what it means. Anyway, back to our story. So, it's a classic breakdown of fiat currency. The Argentine peso has sunk 23% in the past month alone and 91% over the past 5 years. This has deepened an inflation surge. I find this hilarious because this writer doesn't know that these are one and the same. The loss of the currency's purchasing power doesn't cause inflation. The loss of the purchasing power is inflation. So they inflate the quantity of currency compared to the goods and services that are available, and this has to end up balancing out, and the currency has to go down in value. When it goes down in value, prices are going up, measured in that currency simultaneously. It is all one and the same thing. But it says that it's been fueled in large part by the central bank's willingness to print money. You can't print a true store of value out of nowhere. It won't store value if you can. But anyway, the willingness to print money to finance the government's budget deficits. So let's move on. So here's Javier Milei. This is an opinion piece from Bloomberg. Sometimes opinions should be kept to yourself, but Milei's angry radicalism isn't what Argentina needs. Who says? If he wins, they will be attempting an experiment that has not been done for 247 years since the founding of the United States. Most people don't look at the writings of the founding fathers, and what you will see is that they were almost all, about 90% of them, were libertarians, basically. They were called liberals. Then we had to call them classical liberals because the progressives ran off with the name liberal. And now you just say libertarian so that you don't have to define what a classical liberal is if you say that you are a classic liberal like Thomas Jefferson or somebody like that. But the country voters are right to be dismayed by politics as usual, but this isn't the answer. Well, you know what? Maybe it is, because we've done the socialist experiment many, many, many times. We've absolutely proven, with beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it doesn't work, except we're probably going to be repeating that experiment. This experiment hasn't been done in 247 years. And how is it going to hurt the United States of America if they do this experiment down there? Now, Milei might take them down this road, and they'll do this experiment, and it's not really, it might just damage some of their trading partners a little, but it's only going to hurt people in Argentina, and but it might help them tremendously. We already know that central planning doesn't work. It's inferior to free markets. And what he's talking about is letting the free market rule and getting rid of their central bank. I think he's probably a bit of a nut. I don't know much about him, but it's the concept of libertarianism that we haven't tried a free market, free society for a long time, and we keep on coming up with these answers that are top-down central planning, and we know from experience from the USSR was the most scientifically done experiment in central planning in history, and it failed horribly. And so I wanted to go to Wikipedia and get some definitions of libertarianism for you. So I went there, and it says, Wikipedia is not for sale. And it's a personal appeal from Jimmy Wales. Now we're going to hear from a co-founder of Wikipedia in a minute, but they're trying to do their fundraiser. Now, I've sent Wikipedia $1,000 at a time, and I've done it several times. The reason I did it was because I relied on it heavily when I wrote my first book, from 2005 to 2008. I used Wikipedia a lot. I used it a lot since then. But then I started noticing that it started to have a bias, a definite bias. And they took away my page. I used to have a Wikipedia page. And they did this in a little bit of a purge. There were a whole bunch of people in my sector, my genre of commenting on the economy, on finance, and on government intervention in the economy, which I'm not a big fan of. And they took my Wikipedia page away, and a whole bunch of my colleagues. Some of those colleagues got their Wikipedia page back because this is a publicly editable website, and so you can submit pages, and there will be a page there, and then it can get taken down again. So I know somebody that had a page, then it was taken away, then they had it again, then it was taken away again, and then they had it a third time, but when it came back, they were now a conspiracy theorist, and they were spreading misinformation. And so whenever you see Wikipedia talk about misinformation or conspiracy theory, take a look at the way it is written, because there is something in common with all of these pages. When Wikipedia starts disparaging somebody, you can just about bet that, well, I'm not sure, but it might be coming from this. U.S. intelligence has been manipulating Wikipedia for over a decade, Wiki co-founder says. And he claims that it's CIA and FBI computers that were used to edit Wikipedia. So they can do this faster than the people at Wikipedia can check it and take stuff down. And so they would always be ahead of Wikipedia. But that's off topic. Let's get back to libertarianism. So libertarianism, this is from Wikipedia. I've just shortened it a little. I didn't move anything around. I just deleted some sentences and words just to get to the point. Libertarianism is a political philosophy that upholds liberty as its core value, as a core value. Libertarians seek to maximize autonomy and political freedom and minimize the state's encroachment on and violations of individual liberties, emphasizing the rule of law, pluralism, cosmopolitanism, cooperation, civil and political rights, bodily autonomy, freedom of association, free trade, freedom of expression, freedom of choice, freedom of movement, individualism, and voluntary association. Now, is there anything there that you don't like? I like all of these things. That's the reason I consider myself a libertarian. Let's take a look at their non-aggression principle, part of the libertarian concept. The concept that a person or organization cannot use force or coercion to achieve their objectives. Under this principle, you can defend yourself using force, but you cannot initiate force against someone else. If force is initiated by someone, the state will get involved to protect life, liberty, and property. Boy, does that sound like the Declaration of Independence or what? The government, therefore, has a monopoly of force and violence, and if it should exist at any capacity, that should be in any capacity, it would be only to protect society from criminals who have violated the non-aggression principle. Now, are you against that? I'm not. I think life, liberty, and property are pretty good things. And so I would like to live a life according to the non-aggression principle, which brings us to taxation as theft. See also serfdom. I'm just going to let that one sit for a second. Wikipedia says, taxation as theft. See also serfdom. Libertarians and voluntarists believe that taxation is theft because it violates the non-aggression principle and therefore is immoral. Bam! So, I believe in socialism. Well, I love that you're so open about your mental illness. I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.